Welcome back, legends. I hope you're all fantastic. Let's take a look at the new KLON model in the AXFX 3. This is for firmware 20.03. Before we hear the new KLON drive, I'm going to start with this ODS 100 Ford PAB mid model on here, basically a Dumble style thing. I'm using a cabinet IR that I made of a boogie cab with some EV speakers. If I haven't already, I will share this one on Axchange. A little bit of dual delay, a bit of this wide hall reverb. Neck pickup of my old Strat. This is the starting point. Nice and tasty right there. Let's start with this Klone Chiron. I've got the gain at 0, the treble at 5, and the level at about 3. When I engage this, you probably won't hear much. The KLON is a pretty unique circuit in that the gain control actually blends between a clean boost signal and an overdriven signal. So at 0, you have none of the overdrive, and with the gain at 10, you've got pure overdrive on there. Everything in between is going to be some kind of blend in there. And then the treble control is actually pretty usable. I've got a few KLON clones, the Anarchy Audio Workhorse, which I used in my live rig for ages, and I used that a lot on the Ragdoll Back to Zero album with my old Recto. We'll talk about that a little bit more later in the video, and a few other kind of boutique and cheap clones. They all do a pretty similar thing. So let's just hear this doing not much, and then I'm going to just play around with the level control and use this as a clean boost. It's a pretty tasty clean boost. I'm going to bring the level up even further. We'll hear that, and then I'm going to play around with the treble control. We haven't even got to the gain control just yet. Let's hear this. As you can hear, pushing the treble to the extreme is going to make things really, really crunchy, but in this sort of like, 2 and a bit to 6 zone, it remains really touch sensitive in there. And I would describe the KLON effect as just giving you more of what you already like about your core amp sound. So I'm going to go with the treble where it is. I'll actually bring the level back a little bit. Let's introduce some gain on here now. I'll go to the bridge pickup. One thing that I like about the real pedal and that I like about the model that it's capturing is that you've actually got a really usable range on all of the controls. A lot of other drives, you kind of have a sweet spot or two, and you got to know where to set it. With this, you can play around with the gain and the level at their extremes and get some really usable results in there. And that's starting with quite a smooth amp sound in there. Let's go over to something a bit more jagged. I'll use this Plexi 50-watt 6CA7, and now I'm using good old LT TV Mix 7. Let's have a listen to this. So that is very bright, especially on the Strat Bridge pickup. Let's do this with the Klone. I'll bring the treble control all the way down. We'll go to kind of clean boost settings and then work from there. Like I said earlier, more of what you like about your sound coming out of it there. It really fattened up the Strat. What I'm going to do now is use the Klone the way I always use it with my real rig, which was to boost and tighten up an old rectifier. So I will give you a quick example in a mix where you're going to hear a reamped guitar track. You're going to hear it with the Recto on its own, then boosted two different ways with this KLON Chiron. The first one will be gain at 0, treble and level all the way up. The second one will introduce the gain control to about 2. Let's check that particular tone out now. I'm on my PRS SC245. It's got the stock 245 pickups in it. I'm in drop C as well. Recto 1 red, gain at 5, bass at 4, middle at 7. Presence and treble at noon. The master volume I've turned down a little bit. Same greenback cab going on. I think this is a bit of plate reverb over here, but I had this disabled for the little mix. I'll leave it on. Let's hear it, and then we will bring in the drive with gain at 0, treble at 10, and level at 10. It's a pretty awesome boost. Big Godzilla guitar tone right there. Turning the treble down kind of gives you like a fuzzy, doomy sound with this amp. What I like to do is actually use this as the boost and back off the amp gain from where it was. So we'll take that down to about 3. Let's hear the difference now. It's going to be even more extreme. It's a pretty awesome alternative to something like a Tube Screamer or the Grinder Boost. Different character in there, as always with all of these drives. No one drive is really better than the other. It is all going to come down to the character you're chasing and how it's going to work with your guitars, onboard electronics and pickups and the amp model cabinet and all the other stuff you're using. And also the way that you play. If you're somebody who can play with a lot of dynamics and touch sensitivity, this sort of boost is going to sound awesome. John Cordy is somebody who can do that very, very well. And they did a video with the KLON Chiron. You can check out their video on YouTube and you really hear somebody who's got that fine, fine touch getting a lot out of this particular model. I think I just tend to just crush away at it with high gain stuff, but it is pretty awesome as a high gain boost. I'll give you one more example. USA lead mid gain. I've got the fat switch on, the usual stuff that I like to do with this. Nice big dual delay over here. And what I will do is play you all out with some noodling. If you have any other questions about this, let me know in the comments. If you want to support my channel, links in the video description. The little mix track was the bridge from a Ragdoll song called Letting Go. Our discography is linked in the video description. Have a great day. I'm going to noodle you all out with this KLON Chiron as a boost in front of a Mark Series Boogie. Have a great day.